Hit it. Hear ye, to all commoners, rubes, rustics, bumpkins, hayseeds, and other various smelly peasants in every hill and dale of the country, let it be known from this point forward that Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor, formerly Prince Andrew, Duke of York, a.k.a. Earl of Sandwich, Sir Loin of Beef, Baron of Munchausen, Nexis, Milk of Magnesia, a quarter of 10, and so on and so forth, has been apprehended upon his 66th birthday for, let me check here, suspicion of misconduct in public office. We will not be releasing any further information at this time, except to say that we shall provide updates at the appropriate time, which is not now, or in the future, or any time after today. And now, without further ado, we return you to the J. Thomas program, with J. Thomas, somebody who has not been accused of misconduct in social public office. Take it away, Jay. God bless the king. Well, I never. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. This is a sock. You are witnessing. What you are witnessing here is the sausage being made. Oh, brother. Alright, how I got a sock on my microphone is that a long time ago, when I was in radio, we had a remote. It was, miles away from the station, and we got all set up, and we didn't have our pop screens, which were big Nerf balls at the time. And so every time we'd be popping in the microphone. So the engineer said, "Take off your socks." So yeah, that's so. I told Cece about this. So we took off our smelly socks and we put them on the microphone, and it worked. And nobody probably would have known that this is a sock unless I told you. But you can, look at this right there. It looks like something else. I'm not going there, by the way. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it is true. According to Breitbart, I'm looking at the article right now, looking right at his face there. There he is. Mountbatten-Windsor Andrew, formerly Prince Andrew, and he has been picked up for, this is how they put it, it's not me, he's been picked up for what is it? What do it say? It's so stupid. Misconduct in public office. So here's... This is what they released. They released this. As part of our investigation, we have today, 19/2, that's how they do it over there, day first, arrested a man in his 60s from Norfolk on suspicion of misconduct in public office, and are carrying out the searches at addresses in Berkshire and Norfolk. The man remains in police custody at this time, and we will not be naming the arrested man as per national guidance. Well, everybody knows who it is. So they're not going to name Prince Andrew Mountbatten of douche of the well, right, Lord and Lady Douche. Here's the statement from the king. It comes from the king. I have learned with the deepest concern about the news about Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor and suspicion of misconduct in public office. He's been known about this come out in 2012. What now follows is the full, fair, and proper process by which this issue is investigated in the appropriate manner by the appropriate authorities, and as I've said before, they will have our full and wholehearted support and cooperation. So that's where they're at. Now, where did this come from? Did this come from the Epstein files? Was this from, I mean, what is it, Massey? Sir Bourbon of Kentucky. Was it no, it came from, where was this? She has this right here. Andrew Andrew stepped back from his royal duties in 2019. That's 7 years ago, following allegations by Virginia Guthrie that she was trafficked and had sex with him 3 times, including twice when she was 17. This has been known for that long. So this isn't some mysterious thing that just popped out of the Epstein files, given to us by Lord Massey from Kentucky. This had nothing to do with him. It has nothing to do with the supposed release of these files. They're just now doing this, and again, we don't have any sway over the English and their court system. So why didn't the English do this years ago? Well, I don't know. Ask them. But he was apprehended and placed in police custody. So he's in the Hoosgow. He is in, what is that, the Tower of London? So, again, they arrested him, but they allowed, what was his name? Jimmy Savoy, and every immigrant, from certain countries to rape their kids, and they didn't do a damn thing about it. They're not going to do a damn thing about this either, I bet you. This isn't going anywhere. What is it going to do? Are they going to take the prince of, douchebaggery to prison? No. This is not going anywhere. Poor Virginia Guthrie is dead. She's deceased. She's not gonna. How can you bring her to court? They can't cross-examine a book. And I'm bringing up something else. We're going to get into, in our phase 2 here, we're going to get into Alec Murdaugh and what's happening with him right now, and Nancy Guthrie, because there's a nexus there that no one else is going to get to. I'm going to get to it. I'm going to put this nexus out there, and we'll see what you think, because I'm telling you there is a nexus between those two. This is old news. This is old news. Just say it's old news. We all knew about it. And the stupid Epstein file. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to have people like Mia Farrow. Mia Farrow comes out. Mia fucking Farrow. Excuse me. We're not live yet. Mia fucking Farrow comes out and accuses Trump. Again, this is why they did this. They drop all this crap. But Mia Farrow, do you know the claim to fame that Mia Farrow has? Her husband ran away with their daughter. That's right, Woody Allen ran away with her daughter. I think she was only 18. He had been carrying on with her since she was 16, according to people in the know. So Mia Farrow can fuck right off, and so can every Hollywood star that brings this crap up, because they are all complicit with the Me Too movement, with all this other crap. I don't want to hear one word from any crappy, shitty Hollywood face. I just don't want to hear it. So, but okay, you want to hear? We're going to move on. We're going to move on from this, and we're going to go to the Alec Murdaugh. Alec. God, I can't stand his last name, because it's supposed to be Murdoch, but it's Murdaugh. Anyway, Murdoch. We're going to go from now, Alex Murdaugh, Nancy Guthrie connection, because there's a nexus there, and you may not have thought about it, but there is. All right, we'll be right back. Hit it.
The State of South Carolina, County of Colleton, in the Court of General Sessions, the July term of 2022. The State versus Richard Alexander Murdough, defendant. Indictment for murder, SC Code 16-3-0010, CDR Code 0116. Verdict, guilty.
That's it right there. Remember that? Do you know what Alec Murdaugh did? Do you remember? I know you do. But let's read some of this stuff, okay? This is from Fit News, and I find it to be the most accurate, the most descriptive, and that's why I'm going to read this, okay? Paul Murdough was hit by a pair of shotgun blasts that fateful evening, one to the head, the other to the arm and chest. Quote, his head exploded like a watermelon. So he goes, I mean, you can see his face, but the rest of it, his head, is just gone. They were picking pieces of his brains off the wall and ceiling. It's bad. Large portions of his head are missing, says a second source. This third source, who viewed the photographs, said that Paul's head is simply not there. That's what he did. That's what his father did to him. That's what he's been found guilty. So this is what he did. And he's going to get a new trial. If you watched any part of the trial, I mean, you saw it went on for 26 days, 28 days actually. Okay, it was 28 days that, and 2 days of that was just them messing around trying to figure out what they were going to do, how they were going to present this. Let's see, where'd it go? Where'd I have it? I have it. Here we go. The Murdough trial lasted for 6 weeks, actually, beginning with the jury selection. So they have the jury selection and include 28 days of court and 26 days of testimony. The 2 days in court were the defense and the prosecution arguing about stuff. So they had to do that for 2 days, and then they had 26 days of testimony. And it really is an interesting case. And I'm not going to get into him being a Democrat and all that right now. I'm going to get into what happened. So he was found guilty, and it was a terrible crime. Then he shot his wife 5 times. He shot his wife 5 times. He shot her in the leg. He shot her in the torso. He shot her in the chest, and it went through her breast and then went through her head. Then he gets behind her and shoots her through the head with an AR-15. Well, actually, it was a Blackout 300. This is what he did to his own family after being on drugs for 20 years, ripping people off, He stole money from a quadriplegic and 2 girls who were orphans. And this is the guy they're giving a new trial to. I'm telling you, I think it's going to be a new trial. And the reason why, well, here's one. This has nothing to do with the trial itself. The court of clerk lady went into the jury room and she said, hey, watch Paul. He's guilty. It's basically, she says this. Hey, he's guilty. Watch how he wiggles out of this. Watch his body language. And then she says, and don't listen to his sleazy lawyers because they're just scumbags. And she wanted to write a book, and so she writes this book, and she wanted him to be guilty because it would sell more copies. And so all this comes out. that's the big reason why they're going to overturn this and send it back. The second reason is things like this. I'm watching it, and they had two guns. They used as evidence. One of them was a Blackout 300 that was not the one used that night, and another one was a shotgun, which wasn't used. But they had them there as evidence, and you can't do that. You can't just say, well, here, let's two guns that look alike. But this is South Carolina. We're going to get into that in a little while. So I think the courts of clerk saying what she did, and then just the evidence. Now they're saying that why they're going to let this go into another trial is because they should never have brought up his skullduggery, his financial stuff, because that tainted the defendant. Well, the thing is that the defense brought up his character in the first place. So they said, okay, you're going to bring up character? Let's explore his character. So everybody's saying that they're going to overturn on that. I don't think so, because they made it clear. The judge made it clear in the case that you went there. You're the one that opened this up. So you opened up what a great guy he was. So that's on you. So I don't think that that's as strong as just showing them with two guns that had nothing to do with the crime is something, and also the lady who did that. And this has a nexus, okay, to poor Miss Guthrie, because if they ever catch this guy, okay, if they ever catch the person who kidnapped and I'm going to have to say led to her death, I don't think she's alive. If they ever catch this guy, they're going to point at the sheriff. And they're going to, this guy has screwed this up so bad, they're going to point at the sheriff and said he did all this other, this. He sent the DNA to a lab in Florida. And then they send the DNA to the FBI. Well, if the FBI does their own DNA test, and like I said, if it's a smidgen off of the original one, that's going to cause, they're going to find a judge to throw that out. Well, we can't use that. And now you can't use anything else, how you caught this guy. There is a nexus between these two. This is how crap works. And again, South Carolina, big Democrats, especially in that area. The Sheriff Torgo, is a Democrat. And they just screw stuff up on purpose. It's almost like they don't want people who do stuff like this to go to jail. Well, there's a nexus here. That's the nexus. How poorly each one was handled. When they went to, Paul Murdaugh's son, Paul Murdough, the son of Alec, had a phone, and they couldn't get into it. They didn't want to get into it. And they took it to a Secret Service guy, and they said, how can we get into this phone? We don't want to lose any information. Because if you tried his birthday, just try his birthday. So they try his birthday, and it gets into his phone. That was like 9 months after they had the phone, after the murder. 9 months later, they open it up, and they see, what do they see? They see him by the kennels. So that's the reason why he was found guilty, the big reason. Same thing here. Say the screw-ups from the sheriff, from the gloves. He's arresting gloves. He's arresting cars. He's going out. What the hell is he doing? This investigation is all over the place. It's just clearly all over the place. And it's the same thing that would happen with SLED. It's called South Carolina Law Enforcement Division or something like that. Well, it would be SLED. But, so, the SLED people and they defend themselves saying, look, we went into this not knowing anything. Well, of course, that's how you go into an investigation, not know anything. But Murdough was famous, local celebrity. They controlled that area for 100 and some years, 110 years. And Guthrie, she's famous. She's connected to somebody famous. So that's why each one of them proceeded very carefully at the beginning. If this was you and me, they'd be tearing our houses apart. They'd be looking under everything. They'd be stripping us down, giving us, going in there. Yeah, yeah, bend over. They would be going through everything. But because these two are famous, that's why it's gone so slow. And I see a lot of similarity between these two. And that's just insane. What? No, I'm not saying that they're the same. Well, no, I'm saying they're similar in that they're both, both families are famous. They're rich, they're powerful, they're famous. They're more famous than the people around them, right? So both law enforcement agencies moved very cautiously because of lawyers. And Murdough was a lawyer. He controlled both the public and private law in that area for years. Yeah, well, no, I'm not saying. I know they haven't arrested anybody, but what are they going on? They're going on their DNA. The DNA and the picture that the guy has a face mask on. That's going to be pretty hard to prove it's, Tuco with his gun in his crotch. It's pretty hard to prove that Tuco did it. They don't have DNA, really. And the DNA they do have has been bastardized. It's been, it's been tested at two different places. And I'm telling you, that's going to be a big thing. Oh, this one says something different, and this one says a little bit different. It's a little, but it makes a difference because, that's what they're going to do. That's what the lawyers are going to do. Any good lawyer is going to do that. Make a big stink about the differences in the DNA testing, even though they almost have identical outcomes. Who just came in the door? People just walking in now? What? No. Okay, CC is saying that they're not the same because they're in different locations and they're what? Yeah, I know they're different people, but they're going about it the same way, the same very cautious, timid way. The Sheriff Torgo, first he comes out and he said, we have released all the family concerning this crime. They are not suspects. Okay, and I don't think the family did it either. It's not the point. You can't release. They didn't think that Alec Murdaugh did it. They couldn't believe it. Well, they wouldn't shoot his son, maybe the wife, but not the son. Well, he did, according to the jury. That's the thing. They're both wealthy, powerful. You don't think Savannah Guthrie's powerful? She's in the national news. That's it's more powerful than you or me. Stick us in that. Let's say that my wife goes missing. I would never do that. But let's say she goes missing. They're gonna pinpoint me. They're gonna put a target on my back. They're gonna be going through everything in my life. They didn't do that with Murdough for a long time, and they're not doing it here. So that's one. And then two, the evidence was just a slow roll. And with the evidence here, with Guthrie, it's a joke. At first, every news media said that the DNA was a match. The glove they found 2 miles away was a match with the DNA in the kitchen. Oh, more news at 11. And then Torgo comes out and says, no, it didn't match. And they're right back to where they were. So every screw up is ammunition for a lawyer. You don't think so? Well, we're going to get a lawyer. We're going to have a lawyer. we're going to get, hopefully we'll have Dennis on when he gets some free time, and we're going to ask him a few questions, because this is for, he's criminal law. That's what he does. And I'm telling you, from my limited law studies, that that makes a difference. The two different labs. Even if the labs come back and they both pinpoint Tuco on the porch with his Mexican holster, and they say, "Hey, look, that's Tuco." Both of them say yes, Tuco, but one's a little different. They'll zero in on the differences, and there's a chance they might throw that out. And if the trial judge doesn't throw it out, they're going to take it up to appeals, and the appeal judge will go, "Oh, you know what? Look at I'm telling you, the court in the Supreme Court of South Carolina, I think, is about to send this back. I don't think they have a choice. I don't think they have a choice after what that lady did. You think they do? Would you want, if you were arrested and you were charged with something, I mean, would you want the court clerk to go, "Hey, he's guilty as hell"? I mean, come on, you can't have that. I know. What? Well, yeah, the Murdough family has bastardized that court system for years. They've used it for their own, they're Democrats. So they use the court system as their own little fiefdom to become rich. And it wasn't enough for him. He had to steal millions of dollars from people, from orphans, and some poor schmo that was crippled. He couldn't move. He was quadriplegic. And he still took his money. Sleazy bastard. But that's what they're saying. They said, you brought all that up. You made him look really bad. Yeah, blowing the brain out of his son, that doesn't make him look bad at all. We can understand that. What the hell? But no, Cece, I'm not saying they're exactly. I'm saying there's a nexus there. There's a connection, and you'll see it when they start, if they ever catch anybody, and they start taking the guy to court. You're gonna see it. I swear. We'll have Dennis on, and he can go through and explain it. I don't know. It's aggravating to me, and I just if I was king, if I was King Charles, the King of the United States, what would I do? Oh, you don't want to know what I would do. Oh, to leftists, look up the Jakarta method. I would implement the Jakarta method against all leftists and clear out the country once and for all. All right, I'm going to get going. It's 28 minutes you've given me of your time. We're going to have we'll have a pop screen. Isn't that cool, though? Look at that. It's a sock. You're not going to see this. You're not going to see this kind of quality on any other podcast. I'm going to tell you. You're not going to see this. You're not going to see how the sausage is made. My God. Yeah, pump it up. Oh, man. We'll be back later. You like this? You like this song? I like this song instead of Skull Picking? I like it too. Alright, we're going to go out and get us ourselves a big pop screen. So I don't have those socks. Look, watch. Oh Bye, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, man.